11-year-old child rapper sentenced to 7 years for shooting a 1-year-old baby. In today's episode, we're going to be reacting to what went on, because I know that we did a reaction video to this years ago, but there's an update on what's going on with this child now, and he's not getting out till he's an adult. So let's see what's going on.
12-year-old Fort Worth rapper sentenced to 7 years over shooting 1-year-old.
That bitch is clown.
We got a 12-year-old baby savage by the name of Lil Rodney.
I was trying to see, could you at least give me one more chance?
I was 15 when I
The young rapper was originally on probation for committing arson in 2019.
All I was trying to do was go to my friend's funeral. And then
Alright guys, so grab a seat, get a snack, and get comfortable, because in today's video, I have a very tragic story for you guys. And I'm going to be talking about the story of Lil Rodney and how the world failed him. And I know other YouTubers out there probably haven't even heard about the story yet, as it's been flying pretty low under the radar. And if they did, they probably thought it wasn't important enough to talk about because, you know, most of them are way too caught up on the 24/7 cycle of pointless internet drama that really doesn't have that much impact on the real world for the.
I actually did hear about him not too long ago, like a couple years ago, but I didn't know that he got sentenced. I know that his bond got denied, but I didn't hear anything about him getting sentenced. So for him to get sentenced is crazy.
Most part. Anyway, let's talk about Rodney. So Rodney is a 12-year-old rapper from Fort Worth, Texas, who's currently serving a 7-year jail sentence for shooting a 1-year-old baby. Yes, you heard that right. A gun that Rodney had in his possession was fired and hit a 1-year-old child. Now, based on my understanding, the details under how and why the gun was fired are unknown. Like, I tried turning into my alter ego, Detective Destiny, to find out why this kid decided to shoot a literal baby, but I couldn't find any specific details. However, my best assumption is that he wasn't specifically targeting the baby, because that wouldn't have made any sense. Like, what does he have against a baby? Like, nobody beefs with babies because, for starters, they can barely walk or talk. I mean, unless this kid just has some special affinity toward hating what are essentially just old people in baby form, the theory of him being out here in these streets targeting a baby out of revenge wouldn't make any sense.
Where's the parents? That's what I want to know. That's probably my number one question. We only a minute in. Where's the parents, man?
The more likely scenario, though, is that he was playing with an illegal gun, you know, the gun went off by accident, and the bullet flying out of the chamber in an unspecified direction accidentally hit a 1-year-old child who was passing by. However, according to an article from hotnewhiphop.com, it says a young aspiring rapper will spend the next 7 years behind bars after he was found guilty of shooting a 1-year-old child. Lil Rodney, also known as 30 Shots and Baby Savage, was just 11 years old when he reportedly shot the toddler. Rodney from Fort Worth, Texas, had already been in trouble with the law in connection to an arson, so he was fitted with an ankle monitor. The young rapper told a judge that he cut the monitor off because he wanted to attend the funeral of a friend. However, he couldn't provide the friend's name. In all seriousness, though, this kid is royally fucked, especially since he has a prior criminal record for intentionally setting things on fire. After doing some digging around, I did manage to find a video of either Lil Rodney or one of his associates setting one of their friends who was sleeping in his car on fire. But anyways, as for the 1-year-old Rodney shot, reports indicate that the baby did indeed survive the shooting. Police allege Lil Rodney shot a 1-year-old baby after he cut off his ankle monitor, which he had to wear due to a previous arson charge. Reports say that he's also in a gang, the Crips, and goes by the name 30 Shots or Baby Savage. But anyway, for his crimes, Rodney had to appear in court in front of a man named Judge Kim, who he's come across many times in the past before.
You have a right to remain silent. You give up that right. Anything you say at a detention cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. All right, so Rodney, you and I are familiar with each other. You are 11 years old. Wait a minute, yesterday was your birthday.
Yes, sir.
Now you're 12 years old. So, well, happy birthday. I'm sorry you had to spend it here at a detention facility. All right, so you were here you're on probation for arson, and that is from 2019. Then we've had all kinds of problems. Most recently, I let you go. You come in and out. I've always let you go because you're so young. I mean, you're 11 years old, right? So I didn't want to keep an 11-year-old in here. Now there is definitely a new charge that was filed Rolling back to April. That's the one where you shot the 1-year-old, Mr. Spence?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Like a 1-year-old baby.
Yes.
Crazy.
All right, so he's on probation for arson. He's accused of shooting a baby at 11 years old, and he's smoking weed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
So-
So, Mr. Moore, what should I do at this point? Like, where am I at?
I don't know, but I was trying to see, could you at least give me one more chance and then see if this time I mess up, you should like hold me for some months.
Yeah, but didn't you say that last time? You told
The fact that she laughing is crazy. You know what I'm saying? He barely, the fact that he's 11 years old and he's speaking as if he's like 5, it just shows how what's really raising him. The streets is raising him, man. Like, and that's sad. Like, now, where's his parents at? Like, I see his last name, but like, where's his parents at?
you told me to hold you for a year last time if I mess up, didn't you?
I never said that. I don't remember.
But yeah, you told me that I can hold you next time. Give me one more chance. Actually, you said that two times. So, and remember, the last time I said, well, that's what you said last time. Why should I believe you this time?
So, as you can clearly see, Rodney was asking Judge Kim for a second chance, like any kid in that situation would. But the reactions from everybody watching when he said that says it all. I mean, it's clear as day that Rodney doesn't understand the gravity of the entire situation. He doesn't seem to have a firm grip on the reality of the circumstances. I guess he just doesn't understand that shooting a baby is something that most people would be locked away in prison for the rest of their lives for.
Literally, because a baby is they can't even defend themselves. You get what I'm saying? I'm not wishing jail on anybody. Everybody get this right. I don't ever wish jail on anybody, but I'm wishing guidance on this young man. You know what I'm saying? He needs some type of guidance. He needs some type of support, and maybe him being in a detention center can really help.
All I was trying to do was go to my friend's funeral. And I asked Mr. Spence, and he said no. And then I missed JV and stuff because I was in here. And every time I miss one of my friends' stuff, I tried to go to the funeral. And Mike didn't let me go because I didn't know my friend's last name. And then I just had to because I didn't want to make more.
Rodney, I think Judge understands your point at this point. Okay.
So they want guns at the funeral? Is that where you're trying to go?
Dang.
That was a long time after the funeral, Your Honor.
Pretty sad stuff, to be honest, and I kind of feel bad for the kid. But I do think that the judge is doing him a favor by putting him in a juvenile detention center, because oftentimes in situations like this, you have no other options, especially when they are repeat offenders. You know, it's better to get them off the streets and put them in facilities with professionals in hopes that they can help them hop off the dangerous path that they're all unfortunately on. And now, the thing you guys are probably all wondering is, how? How did a kid who's only been alive for only 12 years, born in 2008 and not even a teenager yet, end up in such a compromised position in life? Well, it all started on the day of September 15th in the year 2008. And on that day, Rodney was born to a 16-year-old mother whose father quickly abandoned him after he was born. Rodney's mom, now being a single mother with an already troubled life of her own, was now tasked with a responsibility that she was definitely not ready for.
I take everything I said about the mother back, y'all. I definitely didn't even know that this was a baby raising a baby. You get what I'm saying? She was 15 when she got pregnant and 16 when she had the child. You know, so I take everything because there's no telling what she had went through. You get what I'm saying? No telling the guidance that she didn't get. You know, it's normally a domino effect with things like this go on, and with her raising a baby. You get what I'm saying? Like yeah, like I'm not saying I can see why I went on, because I mean it's a lot of people who got pregnant at 16 and their kid really didn't turn out like hers. But at the same time, like it's completely different when it comes into the environment you in, the family that you come from. It's a domino effect of things. So I definitely want to take my remarks that I said about this young lady, because I'm definitely not sure. As far as, you know, like she was young, she was a baby raising a baby, man. Like, I know she got older, but at the same time, like, I know it has to be difficult having a child that young, especially the first child. Like, you're trying to grow as well as and teach somebody how to, grow. You know what I'm saying?
In an interview I found that Rodney's mom took after his hearing with Judge Kim, the interviewer asked her what happened to his biological father, and this is what she had to say about him.
What happened with his biological father?
I mean, nothing happened to him. It was kind of middle school, high school, sweethearts or whatever you call it. And then, like, when I got older, he didn't ever act like he wanted to step up. So, I never looked back at nothing. I just thought I stepped up for all his part and mine this whole time. I never looked back. I don't got time to be worried about no child support or what he gonna do, no birthdays, Christmas. He just non-existent to me. I don't look for him, and he don't look for me, and that's cool. Like,
I'm gonna be honest, y'all. What y'all have to understand is that women, no matter, and I'm gonna sit here because I was raised like that as well, where, like, a mother has to play both roles. Well, luckily, I had a stepfather that came in and played a very prominent role in my life. But a male being in a family is very, very is prominent. It don't matter if it's it does matter, but just even a stepfather, a mentor, something. It's only so much that y'all can do, women, but it's hard for you to raise a man when you're biologically a woman. And that is just proven facts. I know a lot of you raise good men, yes, but there are also a lot of factors that just even I've missed out on growing up without my biological father, things like that, to where I had to learn when I got older. It is certain characteristics that I took from, just even from my parents or the women in my family, how to treat certain situations, but also how to handle situations as a man could come into play when there's a man in the area, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm 24 now, so the relationships that I've been in before, I know if I had my father in my life, even though my mother did an amazing job, if I had my father in my life or had my stepfather in my life longer, that when situations happened when I was dealing with a woman, I knew how to handle them as a man. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of you all can agree, so I ain't knocking down none of the single mothers out here who's playing both roles. Y'all are doing y'all thing, okay? But I promise you, and I'm coming from somebody who it never was a problem with me and my mother. It never was an argument between me and my mother. She did one hell of a job, and I do nothing but respect her. But I know now, and just, now I talk to a lot of men just about certain things, but I know now that it's definitely prominent. Just even situations like that this kid is in, because that was the type of trouble I was in when I was his age. But when my stepfather came in, we moved and got into a better area, and I kind of changed my way of life and living. And certain things that happen, like, it's just prominent. It's very prominent, man.
So you see, Rodney, from the time he came into this world, he was already at a major disadvantage. And the mom acts like she's totally fine with some dude knocking her up at 16 and leaving her with a baby boy all to herself to raise. But we all know that she's hurt by the fact that he never came back once to see his son. But despite that fact, she said she stepped up and tried to fill the shoes for both mother and father for Rodney. But like I said before, with her being 16, having a troubled life of her own, and obviously not being ready to be a mother, she does admit that she has been to jail 2 different times since Rodney's been alive.
I went to prison. I've been to prison twice. It was the only thing that ever kept me away from my son. It was just 6 months at a time when he was younger.
Hey, prison is different than jail, y'all, okay? Prison is completely different than jail.
So I guess it wasn't really that impactful, but it was.
And of course, she doesn't disclose the types of crimes she was locked up for. So I can't accurately judge how messed up of a person she might actually be. But if anything is a good indicator of how damaged she is as a person and a mother, it's the way her son Rodney turned out to be with being in a gang, committing arson, rapping about criminal behavior, smoking weed on camera, and a plethora of other things. Kids are often a reflection of their parents and their environment. environment. They're like little sponges that soak up every little thing, good or bad, and those are the things that mold their character into the people that they will one day eventually be. Numerous studies that I've read personally have shown that the first 7 years of a child's life are the most important, as that is when their brains are rapidly developing its mapping system. And based on an article from Harvard, they say data from Harvard University shows that the brain develops rapidly during the first years of life. Before children turn 3 years old, they're already forming 1 million neural connections every single minute. These links become the brain's mapping system, formed by a combination of nature and nurture, especially serve and return interactions. Now, I'm not going to get into what nature and nurture is or what serve and return actually is. You can research those terms and understand what they mean on your own time. However, I will say, if a child's first years of its life is filled with nothing but abuse, pain, and trauma, how do you think that child will end up being when it's older? I mean, there's a reason for why people who are born into dangerously toxic environments where their days are filled with nothing but perpetual darkness typically end up becoming cold-hearted abusers themselves when they grow up. Unfortunately, that's most likely what's going to happen to Lil Rodney, unless he can have some sort of strong father figure like mentor to give his life a complete 180 in the opposite direction that he's currently heading in. Sadly though, that most likely won't happen for him or for the thousands of other kids currently in his position. And I will acknowledge that the issue is much deeper than what I'm willing to cover in this video, as it would take way too much time to talk about. But I am hoping that Lil Rodney can get the help that he desperately needs so that he can at least have a chance at having a future. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Share and like the video if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Subscribe and turn on all notifications for the channel so you can always be alerted whenever I upload a video.
Oh man, yeah, this is a sticky situation here, man. Like I said, I'm not trying to take away from the victim's family. That 1-year-old child that was affected by this situation is and miraculously, you know, made it out. You know, it's honestly a true blessing, you know, but at the same time, man, things like this, it just shows the domino effect of life. And I feel like that a lot of y'all, I really can't explain it. Like, it's just something you have to live in to honestly understand what I'm talking about. And a lot of my people who are, you know, they can just consider themselves cultured, which is a sad thing to say, but y'all understand what I'm talking about when I say it's just something that you have to live to really understand. But I do hope that this kid is able to learn his lesson, man, because him giving it out at what, 19, 20 years old, like, he have a lot of life to live. Fortunately, you know, I'm glad the life wasn't taken to that 1-year-old, because it would have been a whole different charge. He can get out and boast and brag about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it just all depends on what he's learning while he's there, and who, you know, his mentors, and what he's you know, kind of getting on life, because like they said, the first 7 years of his life was really traumatic. So that really could, you know, make or break somebody to where they already have their mind made up of the type of person that they're going to be for the rest of their life. But yeah, man, y'all let me know y'all thoughts and opinions on this down below. Make sure if you enjoyed this reaction video that you give this a huge like. Be sure to turn on the notifications if you are subscribed to the channel. Click all to be notified every time I post. And until then, I'll see you all tomorrow.